Hey everyone, welcome back to more Warhammer Quest. I'm DisturbingPuppet, so we're continuing the campaign here. I have done a lot of off-screen grinding on various different side quests, and we're going to be doing Cursed Toof. So this particular quest for Orcs and Goblins here, it is recommended level 5. Everyone is now level 5, which is kind of amazing. It was very expensive to do that, but we have done that. I've picked up a variety of different items and moved them around on people. I do have some options as well for things we could do. So say like my Iron Breaker here. I'm currently using the Hammer of Sigmar, like the actual Hammer of Sigmar. This is Gul Miraz, the famed Hammer of Sigmar, which is very good. Does a lot of damage, critical chance, always ignores armor. Very, very good. It's a two-handed weapon. I could, if I wanted to, opt out for having a shield with a chance to block and some toughness, and Grudge Seeker, which I just picked this up quite recently, so it's, much, much less damage, but it's a lot more survivability. I think we'll stick with that. I'm probably going to put him in. I'm probably also going to put our Marauder in. We've got some good stuff on him. So kind of a weird thing happened. I do have a good two-handed weapon for him. Ignores toughness, good damage, but we're running a shield and weapon. Chance to block, +8 health, which makes him very, very tanky, which is nice. So this sword, the second line of text has disappeared, but the effect still remains. So why am I using a 7 to 9 damage weapon instead of something much, much more? Well, when I go Berserk with this, as you would expect from the Berserk sword, instead of getting +1 attack while he's Berserk, I get +2 attacks while he's Berserk, which makes him quite an engine of destruction, and we add some potions for some extra strength, which we've got like a couple of these. Somehow I just happened to find a couple of these +12 strength ones. And we've got a weaker one as well. We've got some healing items in everybody. We also have some extra regeneration going on, which reminds me there is a town where there's some good rings, and I do want to get some better rings to maybe help out my Slayer here. Not a lot going on. We've got 2 health restoration a turn. There's one that gives you 8 extra wounds as well, which I'd like to get for him because he doesn't have a ton of health. As we can see, only 27 health as opposed to like 40 up here for him, 40 for him. We're getting close to actually leveling him up on level 5 just because he's killed so much stuff since I've been using him. But anyway, let's go into Cursed Toof. So this is the one that we saw at the beginning of before we entered the town. There was a tooth that was pulled by some kids and taken back to town. It's sort of caused all kinds of horrible things to descend. So, who do we want to take is the question. We definitely want some healing, and we also have good ways to reduce the chance of getting hit by using my Grey Wizard here. I think we're going to take my Iron Breaker for sure. I've got healing and a lot of damage potential with my Bright Wizard. He's actually falling behind on XP, so I definitely will take him. I might not take the Grey Wizard as well. We'll see. We could take an Archer. Either one are actually pretty good. I did recently get a better bow for Altathir, and I think that might be worth it because we can attack 4 times with a bow with her in a turn. Yeah, I'm going to take the Marauder as the front. So the front tanks for this. We've got a lot of, as we've leveled up, we've also been finding better stuff. There's better quest rewards. For all the side missions, it seems like everything has just improved. But also the enemies have gotten tougher for the side missions. So the only thing that seems like it's tied to the specific level are the actual story quests. The side stuff seems to adapt as you level up your guys, but also means better gear as we've leveled up. I haven't loved my Witch Hunter much because I haven't been doing a lot of undead fights, although even when I'm fighting Orcs and Goblins, it seems like half the time I'm fighting undead too, which is kind of weird. So I think, yeah, let's take Altathir. It gives me some extra healing and a lot of ranged options. So we'll take a bit more look of their gear once we get in the mission. A lot of the tougher orcs are just like massive damage sponges, but we can do a lot of damage now. The only way to be rid of the Cursed Toof is to place it back into the jaw of the long-dead orc war boss. But be warned, greenskins have flocked to the area aware that one of Mork's chosen has been desecrated. It's also rumored that a river troll now guards the war boss's corpse. Try explaining to it that you're only here to return something. So, yeah, this was something I forgot about. The warrior enters the dungeon in search of the dead war boss with the express purpose of returning the tooth. One of your warriors will be the one to carry the burden. It is cursed as well, so it does have a negative effect. I guess it's going to affect you the least, so have fun with that. The tooth bearer must carry the tooth Tooth, until it's returned to the war boss's corpse. While the Tooth is in the adventurer's possession, he suffers from a hex and will find it more difficult to strike down his foes. Be quick to give it back, or you may find yourself another victim of the curse. So he's not going to attack in close combat as much, only in kind of really bad situations. So that's fine? Question mark. Anyway, so yeah, let's take a look at our gear. So over here, we have some extra healing. We've got various different items, a little bit of healing items, the extra strength. Pretty good bow that I found a long time ago, was still using. So we've got the sword that gives me the extra attacks, toughness and pinning. This is chance to block and more wounds. So lots and lots of health here. As far as abilities go, we've got our chance to go berserk, which can make us attack our friends, so that is potentially a problem. If he would go down, there's a chance he won't. We can stun once per dungeon, 80% chance for just those around us. Let's see. There's a small chance we avoid the blow. I've only seen that maybe once. And we've got an ability we can activate once per dungeon. That means we'll get some of the damage we deal back. For our Bright Wizard, pretty similar to what I had before. I just found a better sword to give to him. So we still have the Chalice on you. We've got the extra toughness just to kind of keep you going. Some extra burn damage, which we can make use of, just some damage over time. A lot of extra power stuff. I've had this for quite a while, I haven't used it, I feel bad using it. Decrease the spell cost, we've got a good sword, so decent damage. Significantly decreased chance to be hit with the melee weapons, we have the Boots of Deception on him. So we can kind of get in and fight a little bit close up with him without him taking too much damage, hopefully. As far as abilities, we've got a whole bunch, so this Area Effect Blast, single target damage, something to stop someone from doing an attack. We've got our heal, some damage over time. This reduces enemy toughness by 5, 6, something like that, which is very nice. And then we can resurrect someone with some health if they do go down, which is pretty cool. For Altathir, we do have our new bow on her. So still crappy sword, but she's not really supposed to be attacking things up close anyway. I do have some extra toughness if I need it for her. Some extra health, which has helped her survivability a little bit. +1 toughness, decreased chance to be hit by melee weapons. Decreased chance to be hit by a melee weapon again, and +1 ranged attacks, which is why we get 4 ranged attacks. And now we're doing 13 to 15 damage with this bow, which I just bought. Spent a bunch of cash to do that. What else do we have down here? Good heal, we've got strength, and then extra melee attacks. Yeah, we don't want that necessarily on you. As far as abilities go, we've got the chance to dodge, which I think I've only seen once. The heal, I think the last mission I used her on, she failed every single time. We can increase the chance of hitting with the Doom Strike, and there's a chance to parry attacks. Now with our Iron Breaker, we took a look a little bit. We've got a little bit of a heal, we've got some bandages, got some extra regeneration coming in. Increased chance to hit, which is always nice. Still have this same gear, pretty much 10 extra health, 3 wounds, 8 extra health. I've got a draft of lightning blades, +4 weapon skill, +2 strength, +1 attack, which is very cool. We've actually got room. I might even give you this. Yeah, in case things go really bad, we could pop everything all at once and just go for massive numbers of attacks with you. That might be something we'll need to do. We'll see how things go. Hopefully not too bad. As far as abilities, increased chance to hit when fighting in enclosed areas, which I think is pretty much everywhere. Chance to avoid being downed. Chance to become enraged at the start of the turn. And gain additional attacks, but slightly reduced chance to hit. Alright. So we do want the Marauder and the Dwarf up front. I can get you out the door here. Let's go ahead and look what we've got here to start with. Immediate enemies. 3 gigantic spiders, 4 snotlings, 3 giant spiders. Not too bad. They are right in my face, though. Let's get you down here as well. Now, might be a good opportunity to just throw some flame around, but we'll see what happens. Do have to be cautious about him smacking everybody. Part of why I think having a one-handed weapon is probably better than having two-handed, because he'll just do less damage if he does hit us. But, anyway. Let's do a bit of, like, a Cinder Blast in that area. Killed some snotlings. That's about it. Alright, well, start swinging. We've got 3 attacks anyway, just normally. You're going to do a ton of damage. Let's see if we can take you out. Not a problem. We'll just focus on the big ones with you. Massive hit. Death blow even. Pretty awesome. We should have just attacked with you first. I didn't attack yet with you. We can do a ranged attack, but once I do that we are stuck. So you burned all your attacks. Fine, let's move on up. We'll just go after the spider. Do I want to do anything? We could reduce, like, your toughness or something. I can see most of the targets from here. Let's just start shooting stuff. Just have to actually land our shots. I'd prefer to take out the spiders so they don't web us, if we can actually land a hit. Alright. So I do have you still. We can fireball somebody once, maybe take out that other spider, just to make sure. And I do have a decent amount of reserve magic now, but then I also do have the chalice if we want to do close combat attacks and stuff. Okay, let's try swinging away here and see what we can get done. Now, a sword will give an extra attack, but only once we do go berserk. So, not a kill. Just see if we can pick off a snotling. 1 arrow killing an entire group of snotlings. Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable to me. Nothing too crazy. Didn't block that. Took it like a champ. Now we went berserk. So sometimes it won't initially do it. So right now we've got 4. If we go to next turn, it'll go to 5. For some reason, there's a delay between when the sword activates. I think we just swing away here. I don't think there's much reason to do anything else. Chopping them down like firewood. Rune Axe of Morgrim. Unfortunately, it's just kind of a crappy one. Damage is pretty low. We will toss that at the vendor and see what happens. Let's not trigger the next room yet. Took a tiny bit of damage. I do regenerate a turn, but we can go ahead and heal, because why not? So, have some Bernie health back. I mean, you're pretty quick. That's fine. We'll just hang out here. I do have the herb lore as well, but there's a chance it'll hurt people. You're at full health already, so yeah, we're good. Alright, let's go ahead and walk on out here and see what we've got. We do only get to keep the additional attacks if we stay in combat. Once we leave combat, we go back to being normal with our standard stats. I swear it works. I've tested it before, multiple times. It just takes a turn for it to activate, and then once it is, we've got that extra action for the rest of the fight, as long as the fight continues, which is very nice. We're not going to make it to the next room. I don't want to activate it with, like, no movement left. I would assume we're going to run into a whole bunch of tough orc bosses, big bosses, all that kind of stuff. Alright, you go first. Still nothing. Still only one way to go. What's your movement like? Yeah, we could both get there. I want to make sure we have a united front so we can get ambushed anytime as well, which is going to suck because we can't deal with stuff as well with him not being able to fight up close as much if we do get pressed. Counter. Ungrim Truehand is confronted by a slumped, cowled figure crawling towards them, calling for help in a piteous voice. Upon reaching the stranger, the warrior realizes that the offering aid was not a good idea. The figure slumps in their arms, dead, his cowl falling to one side and revealing his plague-ridden face. Boils and pustules cover the stranger's cheek, and his eyes weep a thick yellow fluid. Your warrior's quick reflexes mean he's able to jump back immediately, avoiding any infection from the fallen fighter. The warriors leave the festering body alone. Yeah, let's hold up before we go to the next room, I think. I feel like my voice sounds different. I think I'm getting sick. If people are wondering why I sound kind of gravelly today. Alright. Let's get in here. Guardian River Troll. Vicious River Troll. So, it's a big one. Are we done already? What? That's crazy. I do like that map piece. That's pretty cool. Like, that's a giant orc. That's like a troll-sized orc. So you have 140 health. Yeah, that's kind of rough. You regenerate. Troll Stench means we have less chance to attack up close. Regenerate, I don't think it tells me 2 to 12 per turn. So we need to outdamage 2 to 12. He's got 3 attacks. We will try to keep you busy. I'm going to wait using any of my strength potions until we actually have additional attacks, if we do get them. So I think that's fine. I could try to stun you, but we might have more stuff spawn as reinforcements. Do I want to wait, or do we just stun you now? Tell you what, let's stun you. Hopefully. There we go. Alright. And I'm gonna try to get some distance, so we don't get smacked by him if he does go crazy. But either way, we're gonna get hit, so oh well. Just go there then, I guess. For you, we do have all these other things we can do for extra attacks, but I'm gonna wait and see, like, if we don't need it. If we just can bash you to death, like, we're fine. You're probably gonna do a ton of damage. 45 in one hit. 15, that's a bit more what normal. And a miss. Alright. Swing away. Only a few connections. I don't think we need, because I do have the ability to reduce the enemy's toughness. With the weapons we have, well, I mean, mainly this weapon, we have to worry about the toughness as much. We can do just a ton of damage and just a lot of attacks and stuff, so we're fine. We can also shoot a bunch of arrows in here. I think we'll probably just go for hitting them with some spells, too. Let's start with our archer. 4 ranged attacks. If we can actually land them. Actually, I should probably use my ability. I do have an ability, Doomstrike, which increases the chance of all my hits landing. But, again, I'm very suspicious of reinforcements coming. This seemed way too easy, so I'm going to hold off just in case we do get a ton of reinforcements, and I want to use it then. See, because the troll's so tough, not doing a huge amount of damage, but I am doing some. Nobody needs healing, so we can just throw some fireballs at you. I might actually be able to kill you before you can do anything. Let's see. Okay. Well, that was the easiest quest mission I've ever done in my life. In the center of the chamber rests the ancient skeletal remains of a large orc. I mean, this might not be the end. It could only be the war boss. He seems surprisingly intact, except for the notable absence of a large tusk-like tooth from the bottom of his jutting jawbone. The tooth bearer moves forward and wedges the missing tooth back into the jaw. Immediately feels better. The curse is lifted. However, the taint of magic continues to seep into the room. Your party steps back warily, even as green witchfire lights the skeletal orc's eyes. The head jerkily rises and its jaw moves up and down. A deep booming laughter emanates around the chamber. It seems the war boss hasn't quite finished with the adventurers yet. A skeletal hand raises and points at the former tooth bearer. "Mook wants ya!" booms the ethereal voice. With that, the fire goes out of the orc's eye sockets and the skeleton falls back in place. The parties look on dumbfounded and transfixed, only belatedly realizing that behind them the river troll's corpse has started to get up. The curse has been lifted, but you must fight the river troll once again if you wish to escape. Okay. He's at a different spot. And we used everything we had, so I don't have any attacks or anything left. Awesome. Okay. Well, Anything different? Same, 140, yeah, nothing too crazy. So the Withering Heat only reduces the toughness for the one turn. I could go ahead and get a damage over time, so let's do that. So the burn, I don't know if it'll tell me how much. 5, 6 damage, something like that. Let's just hold at that and see what happens, although I wouldn't be surprised again. 6 looks like for the burn. Good. Go for the tougher people. Excellent. Big hit. Oh, and he went berserk and smacked my buddy. Also, didn't do any damage, but I can't use him for anything this turn, which does kind of suck. Well, we'll just have to do some healing on you to keep you active. Actually, just about got you back. I am pinned, so I'm kind of stuck in this spot where I could get attacked by him. Otherwise, I'd like to move. But we can go ahead and do some big hits. We got some really big hits last time. I don't know that we need to do anything crazy here. Just keep hitting. If we can hit, you know, that would be part of it. 51, big hit, and a miss. With the other 5, do we want to do anything? Again, I'm going to wait and see if reinforcements show up. I'm very concerned about reinforcements. This feels way too easy, even with him coming back from the dead. Like, this still feels way too easy. I could heal you up to full, but you're going to regenerate anyway. Yeah, let's just fireball, I suppose. Yeah, we'll burn a little bit of our reserve. Get another one out. 11 health back. Going for our dwarf this time. Landed all 3. Rough. Yeah, so we're currently at 4. Next turn we'll go to 5. I'm going to move him so I don't have to worry about him hitting everybody else. Definitely need to do some healing. Took a ton of damage here. He's okay, so let's just heal him twice. I don't think he can still take that many hits. Down to 41. The burn's already gone. Usually it lasts for a while. Looks like it only hit for one time. I can definitely kill you this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Doom Strike. So increase the chance of hitting. I'm going to do that first. Okay, I would like you to get the XP, because you're a bit behind our Marauder. That was easy. Your warriors finally put the beast down for good. He won't be getting up again anytime soon. Not risking another dangerous encounter, the warriors quickly head out of the dungeon exit. That was by far the easiest little side mission I've done in a long time. Like, much easier than a side quest. Didn't get a ton of XP because there weren't a lot of enemies that spawned. I'm actually kind of surprised it was mostly like spiders and stuff, not orc bosses and stuff. Only 140 for you. Just got a snotling and a spider. 3,000. I wonder how much we get for the heals. We got some just kind of basic guys, nothing too crazy. As your party emerges from the barrow, they see a chest marked with the rune of Shalia placed before the entrance. Upon opening the chest, they find a generous gift from the priestess, and one that can easily be put to use. Elixir of healing. Alright. 2 and a sapphire. Very nice. Now, there are 2 more quests in this area, but apparently I can't go to them or anything. We only have Flensburg. There's like something here, but I don't have any way to get there. I'm assuming that's another quest, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's the quest I did from Vertbod? I'm not sure. So there's 2 more quests in Stirland. We started up there, we came down, we did all that. Yeah, I would have thought there'd be something out here, but I don't see anything. Maybe we have to be a higher level. There's also like a weird circle out there. I have been to Vorkdorf. The town with the good rings was Sturhugel, which I would like to go back to and pick something up, but for the moment, I can only go to Flensburg. I did briefly come down and check out Averheim, and this was level 6, this area. Well, I guess we're going to go back to Flensburg. Take a look at our gear. I didn't even use any healing items or anything, which is crazy. We got that we can sell off. So these were some very nice healing items. I don't know that I want to immediately equip them to anybody. We can maybe use them in a particular mission if I feel like it. I wish we could have alternate loadouts we could swap between, so like I could have the two-handed in some situations, and then if I get hurt, I could swap to the shield and stuff, but that's not something that works in this game. I do like, too, that like there is actually, I didn't notice this for a while, but there's nice little lore on all the various different bits of gear and stuff that you can pick up, which is very nice. So, especially on these like legendaries, some very cool stuff. Somebody had, I wonder if there's anything for the legendary bow I haven't looked at. The bows of the elves are rightly seen as the best in the world. Even the most basic example is crafted beyond the shoddy abilities of men or dwarves. And then I've got a sword. Was it you that I gave it to? Yeah. The one-handed longsword. As the name suggests, the longsword has a long reach and devastating punch. So nothing different for the rarity, it seems like, unless it's like a named item. Well, let's sell some stuff. I don't need that, although I do like the name. Very cool. Anything worth buying? A masterwork iron shield. That's a two-handed hammer. So we could give that to the priest. The one I've got on him I like because it gives him extra health, and he doesn't have a lot. So I feel like I'd rather have him have extra health and be a bit more tanky, because even with it, he's only got, I think, 18 to 20 health, something like that. If I gave him a better hammer, they're all two-handed, he loses a bunch of health, it makes him a lot harder to keep alive. I do like that, but I don't have a one-handed weapon for my dwarf. Don't really need anything here. Yeah. Since that was very quick, let's take a look at like a side quest or something. Let's see what we've got as far as options. So we did that. Did I already do that? Was that? I wonder if that was the quest from here. I feel like there's... Where are the other two quests in Stirland? I don't get it. Because that's Everland. That's Reichland. And then there's something down here, too. What town is that? So you can tell me. Oh, Nuln is there. Well, anything interesting here? One-handed dwarf ironbreaker weapon. It's a better quality. It's a bit better damage. Crit chance, +1 melee attack. So that's pretty good. If I wanted to use the sword or the shield and a hand weapon, that's pretty good. How does that compare to the one I've got? 6 to 8, +1. Chance to slam. Chance to kill enemies less, but I don't know what the chances are. So I would probably take that one over this one. So that's a possibility. Blade of Leaping Gold for elves. 6 to 8 damage, +1 melee attack. Definitely better than anything I have for my elves. They have pretty crappy swords. Well, we've got one crappy sword and one good sword. So that's certainly tempting. It's orcs and goblins as well. And that's just rescue the jewel crafter, which gets me some gems and stuff we could sell. How about we do the Blade of Leaping Gold quest as well, since that was super fast. Let's head on out there. Get me a blade I can use for one of my elves. Not that they're good at using them. So I think we want to use, like, whoever's got the lowest XP, other than saving my witch hunter for the undead fights. And I do want to have some healing as well. That's why I haven't used my archmage in a while. He's really inconsistent. I feel like he's probably my least favorite character, actually, of the group, is the archmage. So You can sit out. Let's swap. We'll have the Shadow Warrior come in. You're still lower than my Grey Wizard, so I'll keep you in. I'll keep you in. We'll take the Archmage as well. So another tanky frontrunner. How about we take the Troll Slayer? He's got less even than my Ogre. Less than the Priest. So a pretty basic group. Take him instead of the Shadow Warrior, or the Archmage. I just don't like the Archmage that much. He can be helpful, but I can't control whether he's on attack or defense each turn, which does kind of suck. If I get the sword, I'll probably give it to him, so maybe we'll use you after that. So let's take our Troll Slayer. We'll go Super Dwarf Fighting Squad. The Blade of Leaping Gold is a mythical one-handed weapon, so tells the stranger who's met your party going the opposite way. He's an older man who carries a large backpack and a battered sword by his side. He remonstrates that if only he was 10 years younger, he would be going on the quest for the Blade of Leaping Gold himself. As it is, he's happy to share the knowledge where it can be found, and so the party follows the stranger's advice and comes upon a dungeon. Alright, so we've got healing, we've got magic, all that kind of good stuff. As far as options and what we have here. So, our Shadow Warrior, because of this quiver, when we shoot stuff, it gets cut on fire, which is pretty cool. A whole bunch of bonuses from the helmet here, weapon skill, toughness, max wounds. Got toughness and healing. I've got a sword here that will burn enemies, and then I just recently swapped the Reaver bow over, because I got another Masterwork bow that I gave our other archer. A little bit of healing. For abilities, Encumbrance has been canceled out, so it doesn't really matter. So this would be like, as your toughness goes up, your weapon skill goes down. This later skill is like, no, don't worry about it. If we attack someone from behind, we get extra weapon skill. Every time we're hit, there's a chance we'll do a counterattack. We can shoot before moving, and then when stuff spawns in, we've got a chance to hit it. And then who else did we take? Our Troll Slayer. So Troll Slayer, when he critically hits, do some extra damage. Got the Berserk chance, and we can ignore blows potentially. As far as your gear, I've got really crappy healing item because we can't do anything else except use it. I'll probably just get rid of this eventually. I do have some healing and some extra melee attacks, extra movement in case we fall behind, decreased chance to be shot. We haven't had too many times where we have a lot of ranged enemies, and I just recently got this, so the extra 2 regeneration a turn. This item, I'm hoping we can find better bracers. 4 strength, +1 toughness. It is rare, though, so unless we find a legendary, probably not going to find much better than that. He doesn't have a ton of health, 27, even with all we've got, but we are getting 2 health back a turn now, and toughness is up to 6. So, the dwarves lead the way. We are pretty close, so might as well just go ahead and open the room up and see what we've got. The answer is nothing. Alright. How far can you get? See the difference. 27, 40. Like, that's a big difference in our ability to do damage. So I've only got 2 ranged attacks with this one, but we can do a couple close combat attacks, and he's actually competent in close combat. So we can kind of switch around, take some shots, then move in, and try to take out some weakened enemies that are already softened up, that kind of thing. Is our movement the same? Yeah, looks like it. Alright, let's open this room up and see what we've got. 3 orc big bosses. That's pretty rough, actually. So these guys have various gear. 55, 7 toughness, different armor and weapons on them. So you've got +2 toughness. You've got, it's probably +2 or 3 strength, 3 strength, armor of doom, decreased chance to get hit, and you've got nothing in the back there. Okay. Well, we are sort of hemmed in here. We could kind of go one-on-one here with these two, which is what I'm going to do. think we just swing away and see what we can get done. And then we'll try to mop up. And a miss. Of course. I feel like this guy misses a lot. Just the 2 attacks, got nothing to land. That's disappointing. I can see you. How about we fire a couple arrows your way? We'll also set you on fire if we can actually land him. So now he's burning. Can move in and get some extra attacks here. Why not? And if we can hit him, we'll also set him on fire. Excellent. So I don't think that's going to kill him, because it's only 1 stack of burn, but we can get multiple stacks of burn on people, hitting them multiple times. But I still have fireballs, so how about we fireball you down. Nothing else too exciting. I think we just throw out a couple fireballs at people. We could get a damage over time going. Yeah, let's do a damage over time and a fireball. Set you on fire. Get some damage here. Because he's resistant to be hit with all kinds of stuff. And then I'm actually going to back up. So our fire triggering. Nice, 3 misses. The 3 attacks can be pretty brutal. They're going for my mage. Attacks. We got reinforcements, 2 more big bosses, and an archer. So he failed to go into Berserk. We got a reaction strike off, so we did set him on fire. Everybody's back this way. I don't like that much. Got an archer behind us, too. Well, that's awesome. Alright. I can move around with you, so that's potentially an issue. I think we help deal with this guy as a priority. Nice. Get a good hit there, take him out. Do I want to use my chalice? I might. Can't heal at this point. Let's take a couple swings here first. Okay. Let's throw some arrows your way. No good. Alright. Come on, give me a good crit or something. Both misses again. I feel like the legendary weapons you start with are cursed. Because since I got him this, he hits way more often than this guy does with this starting legendary. So I kind of wonder about that. Anything I want to do... Can do some healing. Right, we've got the Reaver Bow, so we could hit multiple targets. Could dip into my reserves a bit. Tell you what, let's go ahead and use the chalice. So I can try to get some hits here. I don't think we can do a ton of damage, but we can do something. Well, not bad. Make him think about it anyway. So you're down to 23, 27. I don't think you're that much of a threat, but I'm willing to just stop you from shooting me in the back. Thanks. Couple big hits. Couple hits there too. Not nice. Alright, he got enraged, so that's extra attacks. Maybe. Nope. chance to become enraged. Gains up to extra attacks, but less accurate. But we've got... Oh, we've got 9 extra attacks. Okay. Well, I saw a 0 and I was like, oh, we have no attacks? No, we have 9. But they're just less likely to hit. So, swing away! This will just do that first. Only took 2. Alright. Definitely want to do some healing. I really need you to actually, like, land a hit here, dude. Now do it again. Couldn't do it. Alright. Some help from our archer. No. We could move in, do some hits. We definitely need to do some healing. Let's heal myself, because if you go down, that's definitely a problem. Yeah, I think he's more of an issue, so let's focus on trying to down you. He's on fire, a couple more hits. We can get 1, he might burn to death. 5, he might burn to death at the start of his turn. That might be fine. So let's heal you as well. Try not to use my items if I don't have to. I think we'll be okay, because I think he's going to burn to death at the start of the turn. Yep, nice. And he's getting his regeneration. Yeah, I need you to get kills, buddy. Let's try. Come on, you can take him out. Alright, my faith in you is completely misplaced. Still not dead. Heal yourself. We'll just have to have our Iron Breaker come in and mop up. Crappy item. +3 melee attacks. I might give that to you if I've got space. I should. Yeah, let's give that to you. Be nice if I could, you know, increase your chance of hitting as well. So I'm going to regenerate as we move around. I can do another heal. I think he regenerates 1 as well each turn. We don't want to go into the next room yet, so let's just move up and we'll do a heal on somebody. Take 1 of my reserves, but that's not that big a deal. Go for him. Yeah, he's getting 1 a turn. Alright, let's check the next room. Hallway, whatever. Do another heal. Everybody's a backup, no problem. Didn't have to use any items. It's 3. Yeah, let's wait till next turn to get in there. A lot of the really good items we have, I just have been accumulating because I try not to use them if I can't avoid it, if it's not a terrible situation, because it's really hard to find good items. Shaman, Big Boss, and a Great Shaman. The Shamans are both right here. Kind of blocked off. Alright, you go keep him busy. And or immediately slaughter him. Solid hits, nothing too crazy. Could use something, but we're not in a dangerous situation at this point. We're fine. Go chopping him. I swear you just don't hit anything, do you? Hey, you finally get a hit. Could get extra attacks, I don't think it really matters. The keen sight protects me from ranged attacks, not really that big of a deal. Elixir of battle, a bit pricey. The scroll's not too bad, but we're fine as it is. Shaman down. Let's pressure the Great Shaman here. Nothing pressures you as much as being stabbed in the face and lit on fire at the same time. Can probably see from here. Just fireball you 3 times. He does have magic resistance. Chance to shrug off the effect of spells. Again, I wish it would tell me the percentages. It's one thing I feel like is missing in this game. We could chance it, try to take him out. I deflected it. I figured that would happen. Yeah, I got plenty of reserves. Have another one. Don't want you casting any magic. Okay, you got a bit angry there. 3 attacks, sure. So what, I'm actually going to give my Slayer a chance to finish you off for some XP. I feel like we're just not getting enough XP for you. And you only get it if you get the kill. Damaging doesn't do anything. Fine longbow, I don't think I have anybody who can use that. We've got better stuff. Did take a bit of a hit, but we'll just reposition, get ready to move. Get a heal. Pretty much fine instantly, just like that. Nobody else took damage, so yeah, we'll just call it. I'm a little out of position, but it's probably just a hallway. Or not. 1 big boss, 3 bosses. That's a lot. But they are spread out, so we can kind of engage here. That's fine. Let's start with you. That was a massive hit to start with. Alright. Blade of Distortion, Armor of Doom. I'm going to try to finish you off with the Slayer, just for the XP as well. Does mean we're kind of stuck here, but we took out the big guy, so much less of an issue. Alright, fine, go there. Now, I could reduce somebody's toughness and then shoot them a couple times. Withering Heat is pretty pricey, but I did get a lot of magic this turn, so sure. So he goes from 5 or 6 to -2. Only 11, do get a burn on him. We'll throw a fireball at him, I guess. Or I could light him on fire, too. It should stack. But let's just do some damage. Come on, then, if you think you're hard enough. Okay, I mean, he's fairly tough. He landed both of his attacks as well. Alright, let's start. Let's try to get you taken care of. Nice, we get Death Blow, follow-up attack. Decent hit. If I can do that much damage again. Hey, nice. Some XP for you. Now, we've got really good gear at this point, so, like, honestly, these guys are pretty tough we're dealing with. We're just kind of taking them out because I'm doing so much damage. Extra attacks. If we have space, I'll give that to you. I do not have space, unless I get rid of this, which, honestly, I've just kind of been carrying around. I don't think I've really used it. There's very few times when I've actually seen archers that are much of a threat. They're usually quite weak, so I might just sell that, honestly. I think it's better off just give you more attacks. At least for the time being. I might swap that out and give my ogre something like that if I've got room, because the ogre only has one as a default, so having extra attacks for him is very, very helpful. Yeah, we'll just kind of move in this direction. Come on by, get a heal off. 2 if we have to. Pretty much good to go. We're kind of out of position, so I'm not going to bust in the next room. At least not yet. Just top up your health. And now we go. Long hallway of death. Alright. Still not gonna make it. Is it the final room? Yes. The warriors can see the blade of leaping gold within sight, but is surrounded by a horde of monsters who look eagerly on at the warriors with hungry eyes, desperate for the taste of man, elf, or dwarf flesh. The creatures are not choosy. 1 war boss, 4 bosses, 3 archers. So the big guy here. Zog Snick, 72 health. He's got +2 toughness. Ring of Magic will shield him from magic, so there's a chance. Cloak of Shadows, decreased chance to get hit by melee or ranged. Disappointing, I would have to say. This is where I wish my ogre, because he can do like a sweep attack and hit multiple guys and potentially take them all out. We can do area attacks with him as well, so maybe we do that. Cinder Blast. Take out some archers. Bye-bye. Alright, the main threat, though, is still left. We just took out some annoyances with that. That's pretty much all we did. So, I think we just double team and kill. Anybody who's in my general area. Not quite a kill. I could probably use you then. I don't know if this counts as a back attack. Ah, it sucks, we missed. Can't reach anybody else, so fine. Triple team them. Somebody's got to land a hit. Or not. Now, I do have the Berserk ability. I can try to go Berserk, increases the number of enemies. Chance will do kind of what our Marauder does, attack other people. If not, we get extra strength in his case. I almost never do it, but maybe I should. We can just fireball him down. I don't need to do anything fancy. I hate having him get the kill because he gets so many kills that he gets lots of XP. But in this case, let's just put you down to the ground. And then I'm going to back off. Let him close in on the dwarves. This guy's probably got like 4 attacks. Yes, he does. Getting lucky, lots of misses here. They really like my Slayer. We do get our health coming back, which is nice, having those frontliners doing that. Okay. We can reduce toughness, so we could do that to you, and then focus on killing you off. We got a lot of magic, so I think that's probably a good idea. Let's do that. Let's drop your toughness. So his toughness goes down to 1, but he still has a decreased chance to hit and stuff, and he's got some magic protection too. But I think let's just try to focus you down and kill you off, if we can actually hit. I could use some items and go for additional attacks. I don't know if we need to. Let's just see what I can do with my regular this round. I landed a couple. We don't need the extra strength, really. I could go for extra attacks. Tell you what, let's use a Scroll of Rage. Give me extra attacks, and let's keep going for this guy. Big hit. Miss. Alright, let's try to put him down with the archer. Not gonna happen. Disappointing. Alright, do a couple stabs there. You're gonna miss those as well. Awesome. Super helpful. Alright then. Well. What's your health at? 19. If I could fireball him twice, if the deflection doesn't work, we could take him out. Or we soften up another target. There's a good chance one of the two will get deflected by the Ring of Magic. So I'm just going to blast this guy a couple times. Let's dip into reserves a little bit. I think one more will kill him. So at least we got one enemy off the board. Thankfully, he's missing a lot of the swings. There's our ignore blow. We'll just take it like a champ. Doesn't do anything. Honestly, of the two, he's way more likely to go down, but I do have the extra regeneration going now, which is very helpful. Yeah, I think we're fine. Let's just keep wailing on this guy. Like, sooner or later, we're going to take him out. Yeah, I'm going to give him a chance to get the kill. Nice. Get the death blow, follow-up attack. Try to spread the XP around a little bit. Very, very good. No reinforcements came yet as well, which is nice. Okay, I'm going to swing around behind you. Oh, he's watching me. That's too bad. I could redirect him by swinging at him. Yeah, I mean, we can kill him one way or the other. So I swing at him, he'll turn. Now you can do a backstab. Alright, 100 gold. Get the Blade of Leaping Gold. Some extra cash. did use one scroll there for extra attacks. That was about it. Yeah, I get way too much XP for him. 6,200 for a mage is kind of crazy. 6,800, 7,200. Because I was kind of going out of my way. If I hadn't done that, this would have been probably like 5,000, and he would have gotten like 9 or something like that. High 7s, low 8s, something like that. Try to spread out those kills. Can go to Grissenwald. I've never been there before. It's in another area, so the level should be way higher, but I haven't been there. So maybe we'll go check that out. Let's take a look at what we've got. We'll probably just sell the stone bread. Since I can't do anything else when I use it, it just kind of sucks. So who do I want to give the Blade of Leaping Gold to? We have got 2 options. Our 2 elves. One is our Archmage, who is still running with the basic crappy sword. And then the other... Where are you? Is our Shadow Warrior and Waywatcher. Waywatcher, I don't really attack with much. He only has 1 close combat attack, so not that much of a priority. The Shadow Warrior, I do have a good sword on. We've got the one that I started with, the elite or the legendary 10 to 12 burns enemies. Very cool. Do you have 1 or 2 attacks? You've actually got 2 melee attacks, whereas the Waywatcher only has 1. So I guess we give it to you. Which feels weird. But we'll do that, because you actually have the chance to do some attacks. This bow is not as good as what I've got. Even my Marauder, I've got a better bow. 11 to 13 as opposed to 8 to 10. We've got better bows, so that's junk. Keen Sight, I don't know if we want to give anybody. The healing's fine. How about... for my Ogre, I think I've already got one of these on my Ogre, the +3 attacks. +3 melee attacks. Elixir of Battle, so it's slightly different. Yeah, we could just do that. This is +3 attacks of whatever... No, melee attacks. Okay. Yeah, let's do that, because we've got the scroll for melee attacks. And the Ogre only has 1 attack, so I feel like it's better to give him some stuff for some extra attacks. And I do have this increases chance of hit, because I kind of feel like he only hits once. I can do a swing and hit everybody like in a line, but it does less damage. But in this case, that's why I gave him this, because I don't want him missing those attacks when they're super important that he actually lands them. And we're still running the strength, some extra regeneration, all that kind of stuff. So I think that's fine for our gear. Yeah, let's go to Grissenwald and just take a look and see what kind of level we're dealing with, or what the story intro is. Grissenwald. Oh, that's very not great looking. Sylvania adjacent. Let's see what the quest is. The Mad Guide. The adventurers are making merry in one of Grissenwald's fine taverns when a madman walks in. He is a strange, skinny gentleman with wispy gray hair, a garish, dyed red goatee, and finely tailored, if old, clothes. "Amos, I've warned you before, get out," warns the landlord. The man resolutely ignores the order and makes his way around the common room, shouting random gibberish and then proclaiming the end of the world in a more forceful way than any flagellant. Inevitably, Amos homes in on the adventurers. "Ah, you're the ones making waves in the south," said Amos in a strange, high-pitched voice. "They're here, you know." The warriors look at him, momentarily confused. "The Ratmen! They're here!" "We get to fight Skaven?" "Amos, we've told you before, there's no such thing as Ratmen," retorts one local. "Nonsense," says the old man, pointing at the party, or madman. "These heroes have fought 'em. They've come here to stop 'em spreading an awful pox, same disease that struck down Wissenberg." The jovial atmosphere evaporates, the locals look on at the warriors with suspicion. "Amos, out," shouts the warlord, or the landlord, warlord, "and take your friends with you." Reluctantly, the warriors leave. Once outside, the party focuses on Amos. How does he know about the Skaven? And the events in Wissenberg. I don't even know about the events in Wissenberg. I haven't been to Have I been to Wissenberg? I'm not sure. Amos is unwilling or uncertain when interrogated. All he states is that the Horned Rat is watching him. I can show you, he says. I know where they're hiding, where they're planning to unleash the pox rats. This certainly gets your party's attention. I must go now and prepare. I'll meet you at the East Gate soon. I wonder what level that is recommended for. Let's sell our stuff and see what we can potentially get. Apparently I had no junk. The Elven Sword, Stone Bread is worthless. Nobody likes it. Alright. Anything of interest? I'm going to need probably to level up at this point 3,000 for each level for everybody. Masterwork Greatsword, that's two-handed, not really. I do like the extra attacks, but I don't know that I've got room with a lot of people. This is pretty cool, though. I do like that. It's a pretty decent price. I'm going to pick up another one of those. Not sure who I'll give it to, but we'll take a look. Let's take a look at the quest. Level 3. It's only level 3? What? What? That's bizarre. Since to get here, I had to go through some really nasty stuff. So, Wissenberg. I don't think I've been. I started up here. Came down. Like, this is level 6, so I haven't gone down this way. This was probably the same, I would guess. Apparently, this is a lower level area. So we've got Rescue the Merchant from the Skaven. Sun Staff, some interesting items. Yeah, we'll probably active here. If there's a good side quest, we'll do it. But the story one's not too bad. 4 regeneration a turn for the Archmage. Interesting. Merchant, probably give me some money. Flame bullets I have. Shadow Sword. Shadow Warrior only, 6 to 8, increased chance to hit, +3 strength. I think I like the one I've got better. I mean, it is a legendary sword that lights people on fire, so that's definitely better. But yeah, I think we'll do like maybe a side mission, possibly this one in this area. Whether I do a video of it, I don't know, but I always will do the story quests. I'll do a video on. Side stuff, maybe not, as we're kind of progressing forward, just depending on the time I've got and stuff. But yeah, interesting that this is only level 3. I had to get through, this is level 5, to get to a level 3 area. It makes no sense at all. Whatever, I suppose. But maybe this was a separate area that was added later. Altdorf's up there. With the Skaven, specifically? I don't know. Anyway, this has been more Warhammer Quest. I'm Disturbing Puppet. Thanks for coming by. Hopefully I'll see you next time. Until then, have a good one.